The Justice Department ordering federal prosecutors to drop corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Verma. The order ending months of speculation about the future of Mayor Adams' bribery case. The order laid out in this two-page memo from the DoJ obtained by Fox 5 directs prosecutors to dismiss the charges without prejudice against the mayor. Of course, this comes after he was indicted back in September, accused of accepting perks and campaign contributions in exchange for influence. We have Fox 5 live team coverage for you tonight.
All right, Morgan McKay standing by with reaction and what's next for the mayor, but we're going to start with Linda Schmidt live in the newsroom and the order to drop the charges. Linda, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. And you're talking about that order. Here it is right here. The two-page order from the acting deputy attorney general. Now, critics have accused Mayor Adams of cozying up to President Trump in the past few months in the hopes of getting a pardon. Instead, Trump's Justice Department today ordered federal prosecutors to drop the corruption case against him. The reason? They say the case is interfering with the mayor's ability to help the president crack down on illegal immigration. Now, it was back in the fall that then candidate Trump called the case against the mayor politically motivated because the mayor repeatedly criticized the Biden administration for its immigration policies before the charges were filed against him. Today's order directs the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District to dismiss the case without prejudice until after the mayoral election in November. Now, what that means is they could resurrect the case against the mayor after the election, but legal experts say that is highly unlikely. The mayor was accused of accepting illegal campaign contributions as well as upgraded plane tickets and lavish hotels from Turkish nationals who are trying to buy influence with the mayor. Well, today's order does not question the integrity of the prosecutors in this case. And I spoke with a criminal defense attorney for his expert analysis.
They didn't come out and say that there's no evidence or that he's innocent, or that they've reviewed the evidence and there is no case. The words that are being said are that this isn't about the merits. This is about indicting an elected official too close to the election.
And earlier tonight, just hours ago, Mayor Adams' attorney released a statement saying the mayor is innocent and saying in part, quote, despite a lot of fanfare and sensational claims, ultimately, there was no evidence presented that he broke any laws ever. The witnesses that were promised never materialized. The additional charges that were threatened never came. Now, thankfully, the mayor and New York can put this unfortunate and misguided prosecution behind them. Also tonight, we reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District. Their spokesperson declined to comment. Steve and Natasha, back upstairs to you.
All right, Linda, thank you. And of course, like Linda just said, this all started back in September when the federal indictment against Mayor Adams was unsealed.
All right, our Morgan McKay has been covering the corruption case since day one. She joins us now in studio. Morgan, all right, help us break down how we got to this moment. Certainly not unexpected, as Linda alluded to, but nevertheless a bombshell.
Exactly. If you rewind the clock back far enough, actually, there was a time when Mayor Eric Adams referred to himself as the Biden of Brooklyn. Now things 3 years later are a lot different. Really, like Linda mentioned, there was some speculation that President Donald Trump could become involved in Mayor Eric Adams' corruption case starting back in about October, shortly after Adams was indicted. Trump, speaking at an Al Smith dinner, referred to Adams' case, talking about the weaponization of the justice system. And after he was elected, Adams has been, as his critics say, cozying up a bit to Trump. He met with Trump privately before Trump took office. He attended Trump's inauguration. He attended a prayer breakfast in D.C. that Trump was speaking at. And he's also been very clear that he's not going to publicly criticize Trump. Now, separately, one thing to mention, despite this case potentially being stalled or put to rest altogether, there are separate cases that are so far proceeding, including one of a Brooklyn real estate owner who is caught up in this case. He indicated last month that he will be pleading guilty to funneling illegal campaign donations to Adams' campaign. And just last week, a former City Hall staffer also indicating that he will likely be pleading to similar charges.
What is the kind of reaction that you're hearing? I mean, has Governor Hochul said anything about this?
So Governor Kathy Hochul, back in the beginning when Adams was indicted, was facing some pressure to remove Adams. She didn't, but she did force Adams to clean house. This is when the former NYPD commissioner resigned, the former school's chancellor, David Banks, resigned. They were caught up in some separate investigations. Now, since then, Governor Hochul hasn't really taken too much of a firm stance when it comes to Adams and these charges. Just last week, I asked her about the Justice Department reportedly looking at dropping these charges, and she said she didn't want to deal with hypotheticals. Her spokesman telling me the same thing tonight, that nothing's happened really so far. But Adams' campaign opponents already jumping on this. State Senator Zellner Myrie saying, quote, "Justice is dead in America." State Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani saying, quote, "He sold us out for another personal favor." And former Comptroller Scott Stringer saying, quote, "The only New Yorker breathing a sigh of relief tonight is Eric Adams."
Yeah, this is going to be the whole election really coming up, this whole story here. All right, Morgan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.